You're now listening to a Rat House Production podcast. For more podcasts like this, head to retthaus.net.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back for another episode of the Hurrayforjose podcast. Today's guest is, once again, we have Aaron, or Acidic Aaron.
Yo, how you guys doing?
I don't know, I like saying your name like that, just Aaron.
Aaron.
I don't know, it's like an episode of, what is it, that 70s show, where they're trying to teach Fez how to say America. He's like, United States of America. It's like, there's no goddamn D in America. It's like, what's my son's name? Eric. I don't know. It just makes me laugh every time.
I do remember that when he just gets the stern face and it's perfect.
United States of America. Damn it.
Fez is now playing like a drug cartel vampire on the new, what's it called, Dusk Till Dawn show.
Is he?
On El Rey.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He was also on The Ranch with Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson.
How is that?
I like it. It's
Really?
pretty funny. Yeah,
Okay.
It's pretty funny. If you like that 70s show, you'll like The Ranch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they just did a new show with, what's her name from Misery?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Shit. She's on American Horror Story. Fuck. It's right at the tip of my brain. People are gonna kill me. But yeah, she's pretty much starring like in a new show, and it's supposed to be like a sitcom on Netflix. So they have the people like laughing in the background and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it really makes it feel like they're trying way too hard.
Just way too hard. Yeah.
Well, because it's like every second, like, oh, it's just like it's so set up to be like a stoner sitcom.
Yeah.
And it's just really misses the mark.
Yeah, that's why I like The Ranch, because it kind of has the same feeling of that 70s show. Like, kind of similar type of jokes, like, except more adult friendly, I guess you can say.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're cussing a little bit more. They're a little more like
Sexual humor.
Yeah, more sexual humor for sure. Like dirtier, drier humor. I love it, dude.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
could only get like 10 minutes past the new show.
Dude, it's so funny. It's so funny. I fucking love it. I can't wait until season 3.
So watch that, not this.
Both. Watch that, or watch this, and then
That.
watch The Ranch and tell me how you like it. If you agree
I
with
think
me.
we
or
will
not.
like The Ranch more than the one I watched. Like,
I don't know, maybe.
yeah, it's called Disjointed. Yeah,
Is that on Netflix too?
yeah, it just aired. And,
Oh, I have to check it out.
yeah, let me know what you think.
Definitely.
I'm like, I totally think like all shows should just abandon the whole laugh track. I think we all have the ability to know when to laugh.
Yeah. But then again, it's also kind of like the cases in dramatic dramatic movies, horror movies, and all these other kind of movies where they have the music where it tells you how to feel, like suspense music. You're like, oh, I should feel, I should feel suspenseful right now, or I should feel happy, or I should feel giddy.
If like every horror movie at the moments you were supposed to be afraid,
Did
they have someone scream or like do something? Every romantic comedy, when they're standing in the rain, you just hear people crying in the background. Like, what the heck? Like,
True, fair enough. I can agree with that.
that would be really funny, though.
Just
You're the only one I would want. You just hear like three
Oh my
Asian
God,
girls
it's
just
so
crying in the
cute.
background.
Wait, why Asian?
I don't know. It painted a funnier picture in my head. Just them crying, like, I want a boyfriend like that.
I need that in my life. Do you mind watching romantic movies?
If they're done right, yeah.
Or what about rom-coms, like romantic comedies?
Last one I watched was like a Pitch Perfect. No, not Pitch Perfect. The one with.
Well, I guess you can kind of count that because there's some love in there.
That was pretty good, and then like I like
that
singing
movie,
and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Fat Amy, she's pretty funny in
Dude.
those. I love her.
I like her in is it the second one where she like starts singing on the boat or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's crossing the lake.
She's trying to get to the guy. Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh God, go inside, and they start making out.
What I like is the first show she was in. I think it was a Bridesmaids when
Yeah.
she was the roommate. That shit was funny. She's like, just put some peas on it. You just see her in the kitchen and she opens the bag and lets it fall into her ass crack. Like, yeah.
Is that the movie where they shit themselves? Or they're like,
Yeah.
she's like,
They're all in the street.
It's happening.
He went to a bad restaurant, Thai food or something.
Yeah. Because I think the friend or her bridesmaid who was friends with her longer, like ended up choosing a restaurant and stuff, and they all got like food poisoning or something.
Yeah, but
You know,
you know,
shitting
all
themselves.
those movies kind of have the whole formula where it all follows the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Always funny, and then it gets all sad and quiet, montage. You know, like, and that's always kind of like cheesy and kind of like just overseeing it. But if it's done well, it's done well.
Yeah, like
You know?
a movie that I recently watched. It's supposed to be like kind of like a drama type of thing. It's called, oh my god, what's the body called or the movie called? It's about this girl who she's like anorexic and like bulimic and stuff.
Oh, I think it's the new one on Netflix. I think.
Yeah,
Right.
Like something body or body something.
I know the one you're talking about,
Yeah.
but like because
I
it
gotta look
looked
it up.
interesting, but it's like it's not the type of movie I would pursue. But like anytime my fiance starts to watch a drama like that, and then I walk in, automatically get invested into the characters, and I want to see what happens.
Yeah, you always want to find out
yeah.
what the hell happened to him. I mean, it was not a really good movie. It was a pretty good movie. I'd recommend you watching it if you like that kind of shit.
Oh, I like anything that that's why I like movies, because
Things that can actually like happen to people or that people really like
give
go
you a
through.
different perspective.
Yeah.
That's why I really like. People talk shit about movies and it doesn't really give you anything, but if you really look at them with an open mind or an open heart, you can really take on the experiences of the characters on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
And rather than living it, you can learn from it.
You can
without
learn from it.
having to
And
do yourself.
you kind of get a feel of what the people with these disorders or any situation are actually kind of going through, I guess you can say.
Oh yeah, like there's a great show I just finished up on Netflix as well. It's just gonna be the Netflix episode. I guess.
Netflix just sponsor us already.
Right.
Man. Just sponsor us already.
I actually hear they're in debt, like
Are they?
millions of dollars in debt.
Who do they owe?
Like, well, because they're just buying up as much as they can
much,
do,
they're just-
and they're just racking up debt.
They're just
Supposedly,
overwhelming themselves. I don't know. I think they have so much money.
I can see it happening, but I don't know. I can also see them trying to like raise their prices, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
I would definitely do it.
Supposedly, I heard that they're gonna try to implement a thing where if you're spending like the $10 or $11 a month on here, that you're gonna be able to get like one free movie ticket a day. Which I don't think that'll work. I think AMC already said like fuck no. Like I'm not doing that. You're not dragging us into this. We don't want that. Like no. I can't find the name of the movie right now, but I will post it up later so you guys can check it out. Just follow my stuff on Hurrayforjose. It's pretty much the same name on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Same with me.
all the
If
stuff.
you look for Acidic Aaron on Instagram, just do like an underscore between Acidic and Aaron, or just like, what is it, straight Acidic Aaron? It usually comes up if you Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post up the movie later on this week so you guys can check it out. It's really good. I liked it, but with what we were talking about, how you can kind of know where it's going, where you're like, okay, like things are going bad, okay, obviously things are going to get good. And once they start going good, like, okay, well, this character's hitting their high point, so something bad's going to happen next.
Yeah.
You already kind of have a feeling, you kind of know what's going to happen.
But then I guess that's like how movies are made. Without a dramatic change, you get bored. But like, how do you do that without
Giving
falling
them
under the same,
the same structure of feel good and then something fucking bad happens and then this and that. It always takes you for that little roller coaster ride that we know it's gonna happen.
Well, like Step Brothers, that movie.
Yeah.
They had the moment where they separate and they're trying to live their lives. It actually starts to go to bed early and all that scene. Like, would that movie be as good without that scene? Because I think it probably would, right? I don't know. I think they could figure out a way.
I don't know. I think that's just such a crucial part because it shows them like forcing themselves to
So it
grow
is
up, get jobs and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're at the Catalina wine mixer and they're forced. Yeah,
Catalina wine.
they're forced to join together and go back to how they were when everybody didn't want them to be that way, and then.
Well, the father,
the hard ass dad, all of a sudden, like, what?
I miss my son.
Play the fucking shit out of those drums, Dale.
I love when he starts to talk to his son. He's like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a dinosaur. I used to go around. They called me like,
He's walking around with a
I walk
T-Rex
around with my arms like this, and like he's weirder than his son ever was.
Yeah. But he was just forced to snap out of it.
He's like, don't let them take away your dinosaur.
Do you think the moral of that movie was to never let your inner child like go?
I'd say, yeah, never let that die.
Yeah, 'cause
You
it's
can't.
fun, like,
That's
being
when you
silly,
just-
dude.
Yeah, if
It's
you're
fun.
too serious, then you just become every fucking
you become an
Donald
asshole.
Trump supporter.
Well, not every, because I know a lot of Donald Trump supporters who are still kids at heart, and they're fucking hilarious. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I was on Facebook, and I saw this one. I guess it's like a meme type of review type of thing. And it's a story, or it's a review, but it's a story of this girl who reviews this what you can only call a big black dildo. Like, this thing's massive. And it starts off like this. Like, okay, first off, this thing is huge. I didn't realize it when ordering it. But when everyone left the house one day, I decided to give it the good old college try.
God.
The suction cup works well. I had it stuck to my bedroom door. Okay, so when trying to use this, it was really big and awkward. I was trying to back against it slowly, letting my butthole adjust to the massive width.
Wait, so just all right. So this chick buys this big ass dildo,
Yeah.
and rather than trying it out the way you probably should try it out with something that's a little bit more, built for that.
Yeah, she puts it on the door.
She puts it on her. No, I'm saying she puts it in her asshole.
Oh, she puts it in her ass.
Like,
instead of door
let's
number
test it
one.
out. Let's test
Yeah.
out this big ass
She
thing with the thing
puts
that's
it-
most resistant.
She puts it in door number 2 instead of number 1 first.
Just thought that was a funny decision.
She's like, I was trying to back up against it slowly, letting my butthole adjust to the massive width. I had my iPod listening to Eye of the Tiger, trying to get pumped for the whole thing.
This is a joke.
Well, I didn't hear my grandmother come home early, and apparently I was making some noise, rocking back on this massive dong. Massive dong mounted to the door. I sing along to the theme song to Rocky. Well, my grandma comes to investigate and jerks my door open, which snatched the toy out of my butt, bringing my
Unintended.
sphincter with it. My grandmother
prolapse.
My grandmother freaks and slams the door, which power drives this thing up my anus all the way to the base. I'm screaming in pain, and my grandmother is yelling, holding her chest. Next thing I know, she collapses. So there I am with a bleeding prolapsed butthole and my grandma on the floor. I am in so much pain, and I am freaking out, worrying that I just killed her.
1 star.
So I crawled over to push her life alert button to send the paramedics, one of which was a new guy. When I tried explaining the story, he literally pissed on himself laughing. Anyway, they popped an ammonia capsule and brought my grandmother back. She seems okay, but we haven't made eye contact for 2 weeks, and my butt is a little worse for wear. And when I fart now, it sounds like Peterbilt 739 or 379 releasing its air brakes.
Or
Yep.
just like a fucking balloon that's just, you let go.
Fucking gross. Dude, that would
I don't
suck.
know. I kind of call bullshit on that.
Yeah, it's
a
probably
little
fake, yeah.
too well written for that. Like, Eye
It's
of the
probably
Tiger
fake, but it's great.
singing along. That's just
It's like
really good.
those I don't know if you guys watched that episode of That's Life when I read some of the reviews, and there's one review about
Oh, that was fun when we did that.
yeah, when we were doing the
I
reviews
think
on
it was I found a cue to the review. It only worked the one time because it's really hard to find those kind of like
Yeah.
reviews. But there was a lady who called it, or like she wrote in the review, and it was perfect because the way she wrote it, she was talking about a pen, But she's like, my husband is very, very, assertive and doesn't think a woman has any place using this, or like that it'll lead to too much self gratification
Yeah.
and like
self-empowerment.
yeah, yeah. So this whole time they're all thinking it's a big dildo, but really she's just talking to a pen. And then like
the whole point of the game is to like skip out a main word in the review, and you have to try to guess what it is. So us not knowing that it was a pen, it just sounds like it could be a vibrator or a toy.
She's
or
like,
something.
my husband was very reluctant and hesitant to give it a try, but once he felt the nice soft curvature within his palm, he was able to give it a shot, and he's never been happier.
And it just sounds so wrong. But like, I don't know if I read the Haribo sugar-free gummy bear reviews before.
What are those?
I know I've read them to like friends and stuff. They're hilarious reviews where I guess people aren't really accustomed to the sugar substitute, and it gives them like violent diarrhea and
God.
hurts their stomach and gives them horrible gas and all that stuff, right? They're death bears. That's some people call them on there. But if you were to go on Amazon and look up the reviews to these Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. When I was first read them, just stumbled upon them, I was crying laughing. Like my stomach hurt from laughing so hard. And I was trying to read it to my friend, and I couldn't get through it. It took me so long to get through like a paragraph of this, just because I was laughing so hard. Just because, even though it's most likely fake, but just the descriptions and like how in depth these people go, like went out of their way to describe these things, is just amazing. Because then you also think like maybe it's that small percentage that something bad did happen to them, but they're just exaggerating it a lot more than what it is, but it's still fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, you have to. I think with comedic writing or anything in that,
you exaggerate a little bit, but it was just great. So if you guys haven't seen those reviews, I might post one on my Instagram also, just because it's hilarious and I love reading it. Like it's one of those things like I'm like, I need a good laugh. I think I'll just read it again once in a while. I'll go back and read those.
So speaking of dildos.
Jesus. All right, what's up?
Well, no, I just had a story. It was funny because like the one time we were in Arizona, me and my fiance, we went out and then we pretty much went shopping. Our boss sent us to like go get like business clothes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we just went out, made a day of it, and fucking ended up like I wanted to go to a sex shop for a while and stuff. And like we were a couple for more than like 5 years at the time. Mm-hmm. Never went to one, you know. So I was
really,
like, yeah, like was we still?
You think that'd like, be like the first thing you guys do in like the first three to 6 months?
We're very, very creative on our own,
there you go.
But I'm, you know, I get very curious, so we decided to go and check it all out. But it's just funny, like, because we wanted to check out the dildos and stuff, but I don't know if it's just Arizona, and then I ended up hearing another like article saying that Arizona supposedly has the record of like biggest penises. Oh, because like there was no regular size.
They're just all
dildos.
mongoloid fucking dongs.
Fucking monster shit. Like even like my fiance is looking at these things like, no. Like
you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, like that shit looks like it would hurt. like there's ridiculous. And there's like no variety of it. It's just all monster. And like the only other couple is like this skinny little guy and his big ass girlfriend, and like I don't want to say anything, but I was like, okay, well maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. No, I remember years ago, like when I think me and my buddy were fresh out of high school, so it must have been like 2009 or something. We go to this tobacco shop to go get some hookah tobacco and like some cigarettes and stuff like that. But in their back room, they had like sex toys and porn and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And every time we'd go in there, there'd be this giant, just fuking fist, like this huge fucking thing. But the
I think
fist
we
was
went
like
to the
curved
same
like that.
shop. Was that in Uptown Whittier or no?
No. It was. I don't want to say
I
the name of it.
remember one like that. It had
the
like it was the like white, like colored or like
it was like
beige.
Yeah, it's like this or it's like that or something.
No,
like,
yeah,
it's like
like
that.
that.
So you could get to scoop it in, I guess. But yeah,
More
we'd see it there.
aerodynamic. You know, yeah.
Every time we'd see it, but then like I think a few months later,
Who was that for?
Like 7-8 months later or something.
At 17,
we go in there and we're buying our tobacco and we look. I'm like, dude, it's gone. He's like, what? Like the fucking fist is gone. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, hey, who bought the fist? He's like, I can't tell you that, guy. He's like, come on. We're like, come on, man, just keep it between us. Like, we won't tell anybody.
3-word description. Come on, just if you could describe her in 3 words, what would it be?
Then we're asking, we're
funny as hell.
like, was it a man or a woman who bought it? He's like, I can't say, guys. We're like, I think it was the guy who bought it.
It just turns into a big game of guess who. Did they have red hair? All right, click, 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 click.
Just trying to go through their customers.
Did they have a mustache? All right, well, it wasn't a man. Okay.
It's like, bro, you're describing me, man. I didn't buy it.
Was he wearing a blue shirt? It's like, dude, you need to stop.
Dude, like, this is getting weird. No, but it was fucking hilarious. Like, I still wonder to this day, like, who the fuck bought that giant fist? Because, I mean, I have a pretty big arm, and this thing was bigger than mine. Like, it was huge. Like, it was massive. Who would do that to themselves? And would they go all the way with it? Like, go down to the elbow on it?
Let's take a survey.
Would you guys take a giant fist dildo into
and if you did, how far would you
base?
put it? Yeah.
Yeah, would you go to the like
Jesus.
the knuckles, the wrist? Would you fit the thumb? Like what? That shit was massive.
Or would you just have it tickle?
Right? Yeah, because it's like that. Because I guess it'd be pretty hard to just fit an entire that inside you.
Do you think the technology will change in the future where it'll start off like that, and then as it goes in, it's just like, Argh.
Oh, I'm sure. Dude, they have so much weird shit. Have you seen like those mechanical like blowjob fucking machine things?
The pocket rocket thingies.
No, it's like the shape of a mouth, right?
So now they move too.
Yeah, it's like the shape of a mouth, and you put your dick inside of it, and like the tongue like moves around, and like does like a sucking motion, like the thing. It's all robotic and like silicone rubber.
I think this is gonna be the cure for overpopulation.
Fucking rubber dolls.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
I think it will.
I think it's just gonna keep people busy until they fuck a real person.
Well, think about it, dude. Sex is the one thing that like pushes men to take a shower, clean up, get a job, get a car.
So it's gonna be a bunch of smelly, homeless looking fucking guys.
Why the fuck
fucking
are you gonna
rubber.
do that? Why am I gonna go look for a chick that makes me shower when I could just go home, play some video games, throw on the VR, and fucking boom, boom, good to go. There's already people like that, but now they actually have a solution.
Throw on the VR, dude. There's got to be games like that already. Somebody's got to have made something like that already. Like in The Simpsons, dude, when Homer's in the thing, the game's shooting sperm. No, but well, you already know that they came out with something like that for the iPads, right?
Yeah,
the fleshlight. They have a thing where you connect it to your iPad.
So it's like those speakers with the lights where it goes to the vibration.
You end up fucking the fleshlight, but you're only watching the POV, like the point of view videos. So it's like you're fucking the chicks that you're moving your iPad. You're fucking your iPad. Like you're fucking your iPad. That's what you're doing, essentially.
It's gonna get to the point where the fleshlight connects and it has the little USB part to it. So it moves as the girl moves. It moves. So it syncs up.
I'm sure they have that. I'm sure they probably do that with the giant dolls, like the $5,000 doll. Don't tell me how I know how much they cost.
That will be the industry. Or Joe Rogan was saying on his podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, that would be the first form of robotics.
Yeah,
that really get funding is through sex because it's a weird loophole that's technically not prostitution.
True, but then you also hear the fucked up shit that they're doing that they want to do.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I already know where you're going with this one, right?
Dude, they want to make
the boys.
I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but
I would love to hear what you think because it is
it's
weird.
Fucking weird.
I
think it's wrong.
It's a weird middle ground because like it's they compare, and what we're talking about is they have the idea to help or not to help, but
to reduce the amount of
pedophilia.
Yeah, of pedophilia and like reoffenders and stuff. They want to make child sex dolls.
And this is the idea that if they do this and they don't repress themselves at home with these things, that they'll be less likely to go out and do it to a real child.
So they want them to fuck a rubber kid doll instead of going out there and fucking a real kid.
And then the other side of the spectrum says that, well, this is only going to push them to
do it more, because it's like they're teasing them.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a serial killer.
I don't think they should do it.
It's like a serial killer who has to kill animals until they get too ramped up that they have to move up to people.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. It's a disease of the mind.
But you know what's weird too? I don't think I've ever seen a midget sex doll.
There you go, loophole.
Yeah, they're little people sex dolls.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Well, did you hear? I heard like there was another thing on Joe Rogan podcast where they're talking about it, where there was like porno that they make where it's like normal people and then they superimpose like kids' faces to them. And that's like a weird loophole that they use, and that's the current thing that they do. Yeah,
yeah, that's some weird shit, dude. That's like black market or black web type shit.
That's what
like
they're
dark
talking
web.
about.
Yeah, there's. How do you get into the dark web?
I don't care to look for it. Yeah,
no, but like not just for that, but I mean like, don't you think
you
like
can find everything on there? Guns, the Anarchy Cookbook, anything you want, you can find it there, and that's what the government's starting to like do because the technology moves so fast that we have no laws for these kind of things.
Not yet, but I think they're starting to put on laws onto the wrong things. They're trying to censor a lot of podcasts now.
Really?
They're trying to find a way to censor it where you can't talk about certain things, and then they're also just trying to censor the whole internet in general by not letting you search any kind of sites. Like they're trying to put
it'll
like
limit
a blog,
it. It'll control your searches in a sense where you don't have the full spectrum. You only have what they're allowing you to see.
Yeah, which like Chris was talking to us about how they do that in China.
Yeah,
where you're not allowed to go on certain
Google
sites. Yeah, you're only allowed to go on certain sites because they block everything.
There was another comedian. And it's like I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan, so it's always nice to hear these other comedians. And they were saying there was like a place, some third world country that was overruled with the same thing, the hierarchy of the government, and they released internet, and everybody was able to like think for themselves, and it kind of opened up a whole new world. And that's why it's really scary to think that they're willing, like us as the free country, will be put restrictions on, and we're only as free as we think we are. You know?
Yeah, we're not that free.
Well, George Carlin always.
I mean,
said
we're
it
free,
himself.
but I think it's funny when they say that the United States is the only free world. No, it's not. There's, Canada's pretty free, England's pretty free, Germany's pretty free, Holland, Sweden,
yeah, my
Norway.
my sister's like baby's daddy, her boyfriend, his family is out in like the Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah, like Holland, Netherlands.
So they just went out there. And
is Holland and Netherlands pretty much the same shit?
No, but they're like right next to each other. Yeah.
They're Dutch. They're all pretty much Dutch.
Yeah, well, it's just like different factions of the same. We all came from the same fucking place.
It's like Canada and United States. We're all American.
Yeah, that's like if we went to
Technically,
Arizona and we're like, oh, they're completely different. Nah, we're just slightly.
I don't know, man.
There is a big difference.
There's parts of the United States where you're like, I don't know.
It is like a different country.
Like Delaware.
Oh, yeah. Or just Virginia. My buddy came from Virginia and moved out here, and he fucking hates it out there because it's as bad as you think it is.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird shit.
It's repression.
Yeah. People from supposedly there's some people from Kentucky that really don't like Virginia because I guess they're like right next to each other.
I don't know.
So it's like that thing. They like talk shit to each other.
That's always a funny thing.
It's kind of like Northern Californians and Southern Californians. Like they'll talk shit.
That is true. That's why we want to fucking make it into two separate states.
Some people did, dude. They wanted to make it into 3.
Well, because it's harder to control.
They wanted to make it into Southern California, Northern California, and then like Central California.
Oh yeah, I heard about it, like even up to 4.
Yeah, I was like,
and
it's too much.
Just for more control because they can't control us at this point because we're really divided and we actually talk shit out.
But I think Southern California would be the better one.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, we would get more. Well, I don't know.
San Francisco's pretty dope.
Where's Humboldt County? Is that in the north or south? I think it's like right in the middle.
I don't know.
Well, whoever gets Humboldt fucking brings in the money. But then again, we got Hollywood, so.
Yeah, Hollywood. But then again, San Francisco's got all that shit out there because San Francisco's got a lot of history too.
Yeah.
I think it's got more history than Los Angeles.
Well, it's the ports. It's the first port area that they were.
That's where a lot of that I heard that's where they have like the best Chinese food too.
Yeah,
outside of China.
That actually because of the like pretty much the reason why we took San Francisco and started using that is because in Mexico there was no real good ports to bring in shipments. So they started moving up the coastline until they found San Francisco, and that's when they started using all those ports. Brought in tons of Asian Americans because they needed workers.
Yeah,
and we actually did a contract to pull them out.
Have you ever
Japan.
seen General Chao's like Dynasty or something like that? It's something on Netflix, like General
It got
Chao.
crazy
something.
though too. It got to the point where like they were getting kicked out the Asian immigrants, and then there was a big earthquake in San Francisco, which fucked up all the records. The building that had all the records for the immigrants got burned down. So there was no computers, no internet. So everybody became a citizen after that point, and that's why we have so much good Chinese food out there.
That's
why Chinese, every kind of like
Asian,
mixture of it. Yeah.
Like there's the documentary,
you know.
like General Chao or General Zhao's chicken or something like that. But it talks about how the Asians, they come over here, mostly the Chinese, how they come over here to San Francisco, and from there they have like their embassy, the Chinese like embassy and stuff like that, where families will go there, they'll help them out. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna send you to this part of the United States or to this part. We have a restaurant that's opening up there, or the one that's there. We're gonna have you working there because it's less secluded, or it's more secluded. There's not much competition around. Yeah. So it's gonna be easier for you to make a business there. So they come here, they help them out, they give them a job, where to go, and they just start working. That's why you see a lot of immigrant Asian workers in the restaurants making legit food, and every type of Chinese food in the United States it's all different because they have to kind of mix in some of the flavors of that people like to eat in that area. Yeah,
so it kind of changes to that, and that's something that's always happened. Like when they first went, the only reason why they started doing restaurants and laundromats and things like that is because it was easy for an immigrant to speak to a person about food. You don't have to really know the language to do you can straight point at it and tell them what you want in the laundromat and shit like that. And people kind of got typecasted into it in a sense where like, oh, if you're Asian and you're selling burritos or like some shit, you're not gonna get it from them. Yeah. So that's kind of like the Asian restaurant, and like that's what they call it, the whole where they were only had those type of jobs. Yeah,
but
or even agriculture.
But around here and in New York and a lot of like states where they're like, or cities and states where they're heavily populated by Hispanics and Asians.
Have you like been to Mexicali?
Yeah.
great Asian food out there too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
any
Supposedly
immigrant
there's-
that was denied goes straight to
supposedly
there.
there's a lot of Asians in Mexico. Like,
Well,
a lot
because
of them.
anybody who's denied citizenship went to Mexico.
Yeah, and they can actually speak better Spanish than they can English. Like there's something about it. Like
The
I've
languages
heard,
are closer.
I've heard them. I've heard a few Asians now that when they speak Spanish, it's more fluent than I am.
Makes sense why I got a D.
Like,
Well, I was always
crazy.
getting mad in high school. I was like, okay, what the fuck? All these Asian kids are speaking way better Spanish than I am.
Yeah, it's just I guess the rolling of the R's and stuff like that.
Well, it's just different, like Chinese, like from a literal English, like translation is
Yeah.
like that table. You know, this is cup, or you know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't have the this is, you know, like the
Like this
abbreviations.
is a cup. This
yeah,
is a
it's just
La
more
mesa,
straightforward.
the table.
Yeah. And whereas Spanish and English, or Spanish and other languages are a lot like that, whereas we're very, very
It's short to the point. Just get this. But
That's why I
notice, like,
had a hard time learning, because I
it's
couldn't
re-
get outside of that mindset.
I've noticed that it's most other languages that you can speak it really fucking fast and they'll understand each other. You talk to someone who's speaking really fast English, you're like, dude, slow down. Like, what the fuck?
Because there's a
Take it
lot of
easy.
like, red
Yeah.
herrings where you go this way, that way, this way, that way. Whereas someone speaking really fast in Spanish, okay, table, going, dinner. All right, I got enough.
Gist, I got the gist of it.
yeah.
I know what's happening. We're gonna eat dinner at a table somewhere.
Yeah.
Where? I don't know, but we're going somewhere. Like, no, but English is hands down probably
This
the
is-
hardest language to learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
there, and there.
and it's 3 different
Yeah.
theirs. Yeah.
And like
And then bring in the
like-
idea of slang.
yeah, like
Okay.
TOMB is tomb, right? WOMB is womb. BOMB is bomb. What?
Yeah.
Tomb,
that's
womb,
exactly,
bomb. Like I don't
word
get
by
it.
word, that's
Shouldn't
exactly
it be
what my
boom?
history teacher said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
It-
like,
it
we all
makes
talk
no
shit
sense.
on immigrants for not being able to speak the language, but look at it. Look at it.
It's fucked. It is like it's a hard language to
Or just
learn.
even the Z aspect, or
Yeah, but I think it's hilarious when you hear Americans talk shit to the British or to the English, saying like, "Oh, you need to learn how to speak English." Like, we invented the language. This is all language.
Back in the day when I was working at Best Buy, this lady came in and she was like heavy English accent, and you know I always thought that okay, you can understand them.
Yeah,
I had no idea what this lady was trying to tell me. Her accent and her dialect
thick.
and her, not only that, but then her terminology for certain things was different from our own. So
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I'm like, I know you're speaking English, but what? Like I gotta say, like, how do you say like I didn't understand you politely?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it was
especially when you're speaking the exact same fucking language.
It was like this
felt so
past.
bad.
It was like this past week when we were watching the McGregor fight.
I can
Like,
understand him.
Yeah, but could you understand most of what he was saying? Like after,
Yeah.
post fight.
Yeah,
Without the subtitles?
But I heard a lot of people around me. They were like, "We need subtitles."
Yeah,
We
like
can't
what's he saying?
understand
It's
them."
because he's talking so fast and he's still pumped full of adrenaline. Like,
fuck yeah.
you know, you get him excited and stuff. Like it's crazy. Like we had a.
He didn't go down though. That's the thing. Like,
No,
like,
he should have.
yeah. Well, I give him credit.
Well,
like you were saying
yeah,
earlier.
like he said too. Connor even said it.
Shoulda
Like,
let
yeah,
him.
you should have just let him like take me down. You should have let him put me down.
See, that's why I love
what
him
people
as
wanted
a
to see.
fighter, man. He talks so much
Yeah.
shit, but it's all for the show.
Yeah,
Right after
everyone
he's like, he
knows.
shook his hand. Fucking great fight. You know, he just loved the fact that he got knocked out or like
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah, it's like
he
dude,
loves
yeah,
to fight. He's a
He's a
warrior.
good fighter. He's like he's a good fighter. He's technical. He's not as fast and he doesn't hit that hard. Like he's still like talking shit. Like both of them giving each other like backhanded compliments.
Yeah. Well, I loved it because at first it was all McGregor like talking shit, but
Yeah.
then by the end of it, like, what the fuck was Mayweather doing with that ski mask coming out?
I don't know, looking like
I'm
mush mouth.
I can see you're like exactly. It was like okay,
But dude, he set that
I
record, man,
get what
50
you're
and
trying
0.
to do. Yeah, good for him. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it
And then like seeing the little things in between the fights, their stories, and like
Yeah.
seeing his story and how he did and everything he did for his mother. It was fucking
Dude, he did a
amazing.
lot. He did
I
a
was
lot.
like got a little teary. I'm like, well, fuck him up. Well, he's like he's fighting for more though.
Yeah,
you know, he
that's
came
why.
from the fuck,
That's
yeah.
why I think that's why I like sports in general. Just because most times you do get emotionally invested into it.
It was
You
a
know,
good
either
story.
because you hate the other, you hate one person, or or something, or they have a good background, or just something you're emotionally invested into it.
Yeah, I started laughing though because where you at? Was everybody like jumping up and down when Mayweather won?
We were getting crazy, dude. Like
Why didn't
we had
get
some
all,
people
like-
who wanted to win. Some
Because I saw it coming. Like I knew he was going to win.
Everyone knew
Like,
Mayweather was going to win. I
if
wanted
McGregor won,
to see McGregor get that knockout.
if that happened, I would have been jumping up and down because that's something I didn't expect to see.
Oh my god, everybody
you know?
would be like, "What the fuck
I
just
was really
happened?"
getting on the edge of my seat because I was like, "Holy fuck, he might actually pull this shit off."
There was time, but
there was moments where I was like, "Oh
you're
fuck,
like,
he
dude,
might do this."
Like there might be a chance. I knew
Yeah.
he wasn't going to do it in 4 rounds. That's a given. That there's no way.
Well, they hyped it up so much
Mayweather's-
that I was actually like
yeah.
really thinking it was gonna happen.
Mayweather's so good at boxing that he's not going to allow that.
They can both take such a like punch. They got such a good chin on each of
McGregor
them.
definitely did win the first 3 rounds, and then after that, it was a lot of Mayweather. Because by the 6th, like I said, McGregor just got tired.
Yeah.
Just got drained, and then got a little bit of a second win in the like 7th or 8th, but then after that,
I can only
just
I can only
downhill.
like punch a boxing bag for like 2 minutes solid and without you know, that
start
shit's-
dying.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, my arms can't move. Then McGregor did move up. Like his gloves were 4 ounces heavier than what he's really used to.
Yeah.
Because they fight with like 4
That
ounce
too.
gloves.
So that's not something we're even
Yeah,
thinking about.
but then Mayweather also went from whatever, like I forgot how many ounces his gloves were, to down to 8, which gives him an even more of an advantage too. I mean, McGregor had
to be
the
honest-
height and like arm reach and stuff.
when they were wrapping up their hands and stuff, I noticed that Mayweather's was way thicker than McGregor's.
Because he's known to break his hands a lot.
Oh,
like
okay.
he's broken them during fights. He's like, my hand's broken. Like my hand's done.
Because it made me think that like was McGregor wearing the smaller gloves and he was wearing the normal ones,
No.
but they were both wearing the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. you can wrap up your hands how you want. Well, it has to be a certain weight, but like you just can't have anything inside the wraps.
That was so thick. That was like a good inch and a half or 2.
Well, 'cause then again, he also has tiny fucking hands.
Oh, okay.
He has small.
So
ass
it just
hands.
makes it look bigger.
Yeah, McGregor's hands are like way bigger. Dude, McGregor just looked like a monster in there. Like he was huge.
I know a lot of people are saying like I don't like the look he's giving. Like,
he's
just staring in. It's like that's someone you don't want to fight.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. And dude, I give McGregor a lot of fucking credit
I
because
love him.
he went in there and he actually laid hands on Mayweather when a lot of people were saying he's not going to be able to touch him.
he surprised I think a lot of people
Yeah.
with his performance.
But I definitely think, like I told you earlier, his next fight should be Nate Diaz and finish off that trilogy. Everyone wants to see it. There's going to be a lot of money into that one. Not as much as, definitely not even close to how much this one is.
Well, Nate Diaz is one of my like he's
Yeah, the Diaz brothers in general.
like
I really want to see Nick
He's
back.
one of the oldest fighters there too now, right?
I think Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre should have fought again.
Those are always good.
Because GSP's coming back, I believe.
Yeah, they showed him in one of the commercials.
Yeah, and he's fighting somebody else. I forgot who he's fighting, but I think it should have been Nick. Like, it should have been Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre. They both took a long...
People love those guys
Well,
too.
GSP took a break. Nick Diaz wasn't allowed to fight. So I think Nick Diaz would have been good because they would have been both coming back. They both don't like each other. And it would have just been amazing. It would have been such a hyped up fight to see.
Well, it worked
Two
though
guys
because I'm all
taking
pumped up to
times
see a
off,
UFC
yeah.
fight now.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
yeah.
what all these things do. They pump it up. They show that an MMA fighter can go in there and step toe to toe with the boxer,
And they showed a
and
boxing
hold
match could be
and
entertaining.
hold his own. And Mayweather actually did what he said. He came out and threw some swings. Maybe not in the first 3 rounds because it's Mayweather and he feels out his opponents. But he did what he said. He came out and he was going to attack McGregor, and he did. He put up a
Yeah.
pretty good fight. It was a pretty good fight. I'm not disappointed in it at all.
No, it was great.
And yeah,
$100.
gave people their money's worth, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
mean,
mean, I didn't feel cheated.
I think.
Well, I didn't pay for it,
I
but-
think McGregor should have. I think they should have let McGregor like at least get taken down. You know, they should have at least let him drop
Let
to
him
the mat.
knock out,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. It is what it is. You can't tell a ref what to do. He's there in the moment. He sees what he sees.
Well, that's what shows that they're real because they're concerned.
Yeah,
for
some
the
that
people.
or a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, it's
And
fixed."
how many people have died? From
taking
something
hit,
like
yeah,
that,
because they're not blocking
There
their
was
face.
just a fighter who
but then again,
fell wrong after
Yeah.
getting knocked out and fucking broke his neck and
that was $1 million
died,
baby.
right? No, that just recently happened again.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Jesus.
Again, Joe Rogan was talking about it where this guy was practicing just sparring and fucking he just fell wrong. Nothing on the court or anything. He just fell in the wrong position.
Yeah.
Killed him.
fuck,
Yeah.
just probably snapped his neck. But
Some-
that's why
yeah.
a lot of boxers do neck exercises so they don't
Do
snap
that.
their neck. They don't hurt their necks that much and stuff.
But it's a serious fight. It's a serious
Yeah.
sport. You know, like that's,
It is
the
very
fucking,
serious.
It's warriors, man.
It was good
It's
though.
the
I
days of
really
the-
did enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for
Yeah.
the next UFC
Any
fight.
fight,
Or
yeah.
like, well, it
Well-
showed too because everybody says that boxing's boring, and it was good.
Yeah.
Couple matches. In
Dude,
that.
the third preliminary fight, that one was good.
Yeah.
That one was good, but dude,
Guy
home
bitched
Davis
out. He
was
bitched
getting
out.
too cocky, man. He was getting too
He
cocky,
was.
showing his face, doing all this stuff. I mean, he ended up winning, but
the furry.
yeah.
The
Oh my
furry.
god, he had the side like blue furry sideburns on his fucking shorts.
And
We
then
were
his
laughing
big
about
furry
that. Yeah,
fucking
big hood.
he had. I was like,
You
what
notice
the-
he had that on his shorts too, right?
Yeah,
he
we're
had it
all talking about it. Halfway through, I'm thinking, oh, he must really regret those fucking furries. Like, how hot is he because of just how hot are the side of his legs just because of that
Just
shit?
burn it, dude. And they looked huge, fucking
It's
massive.
all weighing him down. That was an interesting fight. The guy totally
it was
bitched
interesting.
out.
It was good though.
Guy bitched
Like,
out.
the two last fights were good. The main event and the.
I like the
Davis
one
versus
before that one
Fonseca.
too, where the guy picked him up off the ground for.
Oh
a
yeah,
what the
just
fuck?
straight up just grabbed him like, all
Yeah.
right, fuck it, let's do this. I heard I didn't get to see the first fight because we were out buying stuff, but I heard it was
boring.
yeah, I heard it was
fucking
super boring.
They kept hugging each other. It was
Ah.
fucking boring.
That's stupid.
Yeah, everybody was pissed. Even the fucking even the guys like announcers are like, well, hopefully the last match isn't like this. Like, yeah, like,
I don't know, man. McGregor looked like he wanted to take him down. Like there's points where it just
fuck
instinct, just old habits are hard.
muscle
to,
memory,
yeah.
bro. You train so much,
And when
to
you're in
do
the
a
heat of the
certain thing.
moment, it's hard not to do it.
Like there's a couple moments, like anytime he got his back, he took that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and
he was
just-
swinging
just
around.
can't.
He was swinging around,
that's
man.
not legal, right? In boxing, I don't think it is.
well, as long as you're
Not
not hitting
the-
him in the back of the head. Well, he was clubbing the
No,
back of the
he
head
was
a few
he
times.
was swinging around and actually
Yeah,
hitting
and
him on
hitting
the
him.
side.
If he was
and
hitting him in the
face,
face, I think it's fine because you can remember.
But I
You
don't
can.
think you're supposed to do it from behind.
But remember,
That's the
you
thing.
can go to the boxer's side and just beat the shit out of him.
That's true.
Too. So I mean, if he's hitting him only on the sides and on like
'Cause he was
side
doing a
in
good
his
job of that.
Because he was doing, and the ref was allowing it. So I'm guessing like, dude, let
Well,
it.
because he would break it up
Yeah.
too. Because
But
I think
after, no, he would
was
break it
starting
up
to get close.
once the hammer fist started coming on
Yeah.
the head, dude.
That was another great thing. It's just he can't
Hey,
help
but, yeah.
himself. He sees the
What-
back of the head. You present me the back of your head, I'm gonna fucking hammer it.
What
Like,
what about when what's it called Mayweather pushed McGregor and then the ref just goes and pushes Mayweather into his corner like get the hell over there. Just
yeah.
shoved them, dude.
Well,
We're like,
what I
yeah.
thought was hilarious too in the beginning when the referees telling both Mayweather and McGregor the
Yeah.
rules,
but
he's just
all-
looking at McGregor.
McGregor. It's like I want a clean fight.
And the whole time he's fucking looking at McGregor, saying all this shit to him. Mayweather's just making faces.
Yeah, just getting in his head and shit.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You're treating him like a child, and the guy you respect is fucking.
Yeah, is acting like a child.
I thought it was great.
That was good.
It was so funny. Well, it was fun. Like
was
I was
good.
saying, to see
to you.
Mayweather
Oh, yeah.
become more and more showman-y
Yeah,
in the sense of trying to even putting on the stupid ass ski mask. And, like he's
He
trying
always
to be
does
the
silly.
character.
Yeah, he always does stuff like that. Like
But they were having fun. And it was
when it
cool
was
to see that.
I think it was him versus Marquez or something like that. I think it was Marquez. I think he came out with just full on like Mexican attire, like just Mexican colors and stuff. So I'm like, all right, it's kind of a dick move.
It was
but
fun, yeah.
Yeah, he's I love Mexican people. I love Mexicans. You guys are great fans. Which they are. Like Mexicans are hardcore boxing fans.
As long as you're not trying
Oh
to
my
be an
God.
asshole about something like
Yeah.
that, then by all means do what you want to do.
Yeah, because I noticed that whenever he fights somebody from a different like country, he'll always give them respect. Like after, he's like, "Oh, and the fans from Mexico, I love you guys." Blah blah. Blah. Like same thing.
Well,
Like
it's not like with someone you're about to like go head to head and fight. It's not like you can try to be their friend beforehand.
no, you can't.
It takes you out of the game.
That's what the Diaz brothers said
Mm-hmm.
before. They're like, we're not going to go in there try to be friends and high five and all this shit.
Yeah,
It's like,
because
no.
then on the subconscious you don't want to
Yeah.
hurt your friend.
Yeah, we're like, I want to go in there and fuck
But
this guy
once
up.
the
I'm not
fight's
trying to be
over.
buddy. Yeah, that's as soon as it's over. Like you saw, like Nate and McGregor fucking hate each other during like before everything. Then after they just gave each other like
yeah.
respect. Like, yeah, he's a good fighter. I didn't expect that. Like this, and that, and this, and that.
Well, because it's
And then they go back to talking shit for fucking round two.
it's like McGregor's like Spider-Man, where he just tries to get like them so focused on the bullshit he's telling them.
But that's the thing. He tried to get into Nate's head and it doesn't work because they're shit talkers too.
Yeah,
They're used to shit talking.
I love
like,
Nate though. He's his lisp and everything. It's fucking awesome. He's just a great dude.
They're awesome, man. I think we're gonna end on that note with the with awesome people.
Yeah. Fucking warriors.
Fucking warriors. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. Tune in next week. I'll try to have some surprises. No promises.
Oh yeah, we might have one of our buddies in, blind comic Dez.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
Let's talk to
he's
him.
fucking funny as shit. And yeah, I just did a comedy special for him, so maybe we'll show a little bit like of a joke he wants to tell or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
That'd be good. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Later.